Um, my week has been pretty good. Actually prepping to go on vacation next week. So we have a house here up in Lakes region in New Hampshire that we've rented. So we're gonna spend a week up here. I guess you call it a staycation here in New Hampshire. But just a nice relaxing week for the Baxter family, which would be good. So excited about that. Um, for today's video, I want to chat a little bit about um, something that happened during my race last weekend. Like I had mentioned in my last video, I was doing a race on Saturday. It went really well. I was really happy with the result. I managed to complete all 24 or so obstacles without a failure. And the obstacles were pretty challenging for this race, this Savage race. It's the first time I've seen many of them, so I was pretty happy with the result. Um, and yeah, it was a good race. It was great to see lots of friends that I hadn't seen in a while and watch them all compete and give their best efforts as well. So, really good weekend. But I was getting towards the end of the race, and I knew I was coming to the end. And I came to an obstacle that was basically monkey bars. They kind of came up into a peak, and then you would kind of go down. And there was quite a large number of monkey bars. They were not terribly far apart, so they were spaced pretty close together. But there was a lot of them. And I took my time going up to the peak, and then started to descend down. And going down tends to be a little bit easier. Your momentum is on your side in that case, and so I was getting a little cocky because I knew I was getting to the end of the race, and I've done monkey bars a million times, and I started skipping bars on the way down. And I got to the last few bars and decided to skip them and just try. For those of you not familiar with obstacle course racing, usually there's some kind of bell at the end of the obstacle signifying that you made it to the end of the obstacle, and you have to hit that bell, and that means you completed it. Um, and I was getting kind of cocky going down, and was going to skip the last few bars and just hit the bell. And I went to go hit the bell and released my hand from the bar, and I missed the bell. I whiffed on the bell, and my feet hit the ground, and that was a no good thing, no good attempt. So in this particular race series, you can retry the obstacles as many times as you want, and and um, then go back and if you give up, then they'll basically they call it cutting your band. They cut this band off your wrist, and you're basically in the non 100% completion category. Still finished, but you would have been considered not completing all obstacles, right? Anyways, besides the point. So I turned around and proceeded to do the same thing again, and this time on the way down the monkey bars, I was very cautious with what I was doing and much more careful, and hit the bell and was able to move on. It was kind of a costly mistake. Luckily, I was like I said, getting towards the end of the race, but having to do that many monkey bars twice right in a row like that is pretty fatiguing for your grip strength. There wasn't too many more obstacles left after that that required too much grip strength. So it wasn't too much of an issue, but certainly I could feel the burning in my hands and my forearms after I finished doing that the second time. But what I really want to talk about is kind of the lesson that to take away from that is just dealing with failure. There's going to be times where you fail, and we need to prepare for that. We shouldn't be afraid of failing, right? Is the first thing, right? Um, I can second guess myself and say, "Oh, I shouldn't have been so cocky and skipping those monkey bars and et cetera, et cetera." But then I would have just been afraid of failing. I was trying to do something a little bit more efficiently, and I was just, full of myself as I was going down those monkey bars, thinking I've done this a million times. It shouldn't be an issue. And sometimes you whiff, you make a mistake, and you strike out, or something goes wrong. It just doesn't happen the way you think it's going to happen, and you fail. And that can be applied to many different types of situations in life, whether particularly in the health and wellness case, right? Whether it's exercising or diet or your meditation practice or your journaling practice or whatever thing you're trying to be consistent about, we often get very comfortable or just quote unquote cocky with what we're doing, and maybe we don't pay attention. We don't take it as seriously as we think we are, and maybe if you're exercising, you're not paying attention, you're getting cocky with the weight, and you end up injuring yourself, or you stop tracking your food, and all of a sudden, the scale starts creeping up on you, or you stop being so diligent with your meditation, and your stress management kind of goes to the wayside. Um, you stop being so diligent with your sleep practices, and your sleep suffers, right? So we see these types of things happen constantly, right? And just like when I failed at that obstacle, the best of us can course correct very quickly, right? So I let out a profound word after I missed the bell, and I turned right around, and I walked right back to the start line, and or the start of the obstacle, and proceeded to do it again, right? And got right back to it, right? I knew I could do it, and so I just got back to doing, and I went back to the way I used to do it. I wasn't going to try and skip bars this time. I was going to make sure I was going to get it the second time, because if I had to do it a third time, then I surely would have been in trouble with my grip strength. So I was very cautious the second time. I didn't want to make a mistake. And I think, the best of us, when we're able to course correct, is we shouldn't be afraid of failing. We shouldn't be afraid of trying something new, or pushing the weight sometimes in our exercises, or seeing if we can get away with the occasional day without meditation and still dealing with the stress, or having that slice of birthday cake or whatever, and messing with our diet. And sometimes it will work out, and sometimes it won't work out. And but the key is, if it doesn't work out, we need to be able to get back, prepare for that failure, and move forward, right? Oftentimes you might hear this as fail forward, right? So if you fail, what did you do wrong? How did you fail? Why did you fail? Learning from that failure experience, and then reapplying those new lessons to getting back to where you want to be. And so failure can actually be a very good learning experience. It can help you grow as an individual. It can help you expand your resilience. So the next time you don't make that mistake. So maybe the next time when I'm descending on the monkey bars, I will skip some of the monkey bars, but when I get towards the end, I won't skip them anymore. I will get all the way to the end, to the very last bar, and make sure that I'm right next to that bell so I hit it every time. And not try and skip the last few and swipe at the bell and miss it, right? So maybe I can learn, still get the advantage I was trying to get out of what I was doing, but I can do it in a smarter way that doesn't allow me to fail, right? So if you do want to push it in the gym, maybe pushing the weight's not the best thing, but adding more volume, like just doing more reps, is the best thing for you, right? Because pushing the weight often, maybe that leads to injuries generally for you. Or if you do fall off your meditation practice, how can you maybe you can shorten the meditation practice on some days so that you can get some more free time on those busier days, but still getting a little bit of meditation, right? Is there another way of doing that, right? Is there something else, some other change in your diet that you can include that might help you progress towards your goal, right? Maybe it's eating more vegetables. Maybe it's eating in a bigger time window. Maybe it's eating more of certain foods that you desire, right? That help you keep on track, right? So there's all different things we can experiment with, and sometimes they work, sometimes they don't. But again, if they don't work, you just got to learn from that experience. You got to fail forward. You got to move forward, and keep iterating and keep sticking it out, right? And don't be afraid, right? If we're afraid to fail, oftentimes we will never progress because we'll never learn from those experiences, right? When we do fail, we often learn, right? And we get back, and as long as you learn from those mistakes and move forward, that's where the magic is, right? But if we can be afraid of failing, never try, right? And that's okay if what you're doing is working for you. But if you want to grow as an individual in whatever health or wellness area you're trying to improve, you have to experiment and try new things, right? Once your body is adapted to that stimulus, it's never going to progress, right? It gets very comfortable in that situation. So we need to constantly be challenging ourselves to move forward and grow in different ways. If we want to, maybe we're happy with where we are, and we don't want to. But if you want to grow, oftentimes challenging yourself, and then that inevitably leads to failure. But we shouldn't be afraid to it, and we just need to learn from those experiences and fail forward. So that's just the message I wanted to throw out there today. I hope everyone, if you can relate to that, please let me know. If you have any questions, please leave a comment or hit reply to the email or however you're viewing this video. Happy to chat about it. As always, if you want to get all the content that I put out on a weekly basis, please sign up for my newsletter. You can do that by going to rjbhealth.coach. Click the newsletter link at the top and enter your email address, and you'll be signed up for the newsletter. And you can get all these videos and blog posts and etc. that I put out just directly in your inbox. Save you some time. If you are interested in one-on-one coaching, I have one spot open at the moment. So please, if you're interested, jump on that. Could fill up at any time. But if you're interested, you can go to rjbhealth.coach and click the discovery call button on the homepage and fill out the form, and I'll get right back to you. And we can schedule time to chat more about whether it'd be a good fit to work together. With that, I hope everyone has a good weekend. I probably will not have a new video for next week. I probably have more of a, if I do post something, it'll probably be a replay of a past video that I think was kind of interesting. I will be on vacation, but new content the week after. And I hope everyone has a good week, and I'll talk to you all soon.